Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Brilliant Single Guy was a must-watch. However, the brilliant unhitched female's Joan Vassos will be an improved lead than Gerry Turner was. Dissimilar to 72-year-old Gerry, 61-year-old Joan isn't as keen on notoriety, so she'll be in a vastly improved position to track down affection. Gerry is a resigned restaurateur who made his TV debut when he was decided to lead the primary time of the Lone Ranger spin-off, and Joan made her TV debut during his season. Joan, a non-public school head, was one of the 22 ladies who competed for Gerry's heart. However, Joan and Gerry didn't become friends immediately. She won a gathering date challenge and invested one-on-one energy with the brilliant unhitched male, and the two hit it off. Their growing relationship was hindered when Joan needed to pass on the show right on time because of a family crisis. At the point when the brilliant Lone Rangeress Season 1 was reported, there was a lot of hypothesis about who the lead would be. Joan was among the top picks, so it was anything but an all-out shock when she was picked. She appears to be more practical than Gerry and will be a great lead. Joan left Gerry's time of the Brilliant Single Guy to be with her girl, who had quite recently had a child and was battling with post-pregnancy anxiety. However, Joan enjoyed Gerry, and they had quite recently had a mind-boggling date and association in general. She put her family first and left the show. This demonstrates for certain that Joan isn't doing this for acclaim yet to track down genuine affection. They say that everything occurs for an explanation, and perhaps Joan returned home right on time from the Brilliant Lone Wolf Season 1 since her genuine romance was still out there. Joan was bereft in 2021, and she was at long last prepared briefly opportunity to fabricate a unique association with a renewed person. The Brilliant Single Woman Season 1 has a lot higher possibility bringing about an ideal match in light of the fact that Joan is more genuine than Gerry. He might have had the best goals, yet Gerry even lied about his past relationship status. In a May talk with CNN, Joan made it clear she wouldn't race into marriage regardless of what occurred on the Brilliant Single Woman Season 1. She said it wasn't completely a direct result of Gerry and Teresa's separation. She feels individuals need additional opportunity to get to know one another. This implies fans can disregard another Brilliant Single Guy wedding unique. She made sense of that while two of her kids are amped up for the open door. The other two would rather not need to see their mom making out with various men on television. The debut time of the Brilliant Single Girl as of late debuted, and however it's now a must-watch, Joan Vassos' side project won't ever verge on being comparable to the Brilliant Lone Wolf. Joan, a bereaved 61-year-old tuition-based school head, made her TV debut on the Brilliant Unhitched Male Season 1, close by 21 other noteworthy more established single ladies competing for the core of 72-year-old resigned single man Gerry Turner. Gerry didn't see Joan from the get-go, yet, after her genuine execution during a gathering date ability show, he at last acknowledged what an incredible catch she was. After the two associated, Joan got a troubling call from home. Her girl, who had recently brought forth Joan's third grandkid, was battling and frantically required her mom. However, Joan had a genuine chance to find love with Gerry. She put family first, gathered her packs, and left the show early. However, Joan was exclusively on the Brilliant Single Guy Season 1 for half a month. She truly had an impact on crowds, who were profoundly moved by her adoration for her little girl. There were a few different ladies from Gerry's season who were considered as possible leads for the Female Drove spin-off, as 65-year-old Leslie Fema, 60-year-old Confidence Martin, and 67-year-old Susan Knowles. The job at last went to Joan, and the Brilliant Lone Rangeress Season 1 as of late debuted, with Joan meeting 24 amazing more established men competing for her heart. While the debut episode of the Single Man Country spin-off guarantees an undeniably exhilarating season loaded up with affection and show, the following are 10 reasons it can never verge on arriving at the zenith of diversion accomplished by the brilliant Bachelor. When Gerry was reported as the principal lead of the Brilliant Lone Wolf, ladies from everywhere the nation overwhelmed ABC projecting workplaces with applications. It appeared to be that each single man and divorced person in the U.S. needed a shot at meeting the tall, alluring single man. As well as being TV-friendly and enchanting, Gerry had a strong history. The single man was hitched to Tony Turner for 43 cheerful years before she passed on in 2017, after a short illness. According to Gerry, he had been single since he lost his cherished spouse, however that ended up being false. While The Brilliant Single Guy Season 1 was circulating, it was uncovered that Gerry had begun dating very quickly after his better half kicked the bucket, and he even had a serious long-haul relationship with a live-in sweetheart. This was only one of ordinarily when Gerry was a very engaging confusion specialist, and it's basically impossible that sweet Joan will actually want to match Gerry's sheer diversion value. Years prior to joining the cast of The Brilliant Unhitched Male, Joan was hitched to Joan Vassos for quite some time, until he died in 2021 after a short fight with pancreatic malignant growth. In a January Instagram post, Joan shared a family photograph of her, John, and their grown-up kids. She composed that it had been a long time since she lost John, and that she kept on being profoundly shaken by the deficiency of her darling late husband. The debut episode of The Brilliant Unhitched Female, Season 1 opens with Joan discussing the amount she cherished her better half, and how safe he generally caused her to feel. It will be difficult for her to find that in the future. While Gerry began dating very quickly after his better half's passing, Joan truly has been single from that point onward, and it's impossible that she's prepared even at this point. Maybe being affected by Gerry's bombed union with 70-year-old Teresa Nist after The Brilliant Single Man, Joan decisively changed assumptions for The Brilliant Lone Wolf Season 1. In a May CNN interview, Joan clarified that her season wouldn't end with her racing into marriage. Accordingly, fans can disregard another brilliant Lone Ranger wedding extraordinary. The mother of 4 likewise made sense of that. While 2 of her kids are amped up for the open door, the other 2 would rather not need to see their mom making out with numerous men on television. While Gerry kissed a great deal of ladies on night 1 of his season, Joan just kissed 1 man on the principal evening of her season. During a similar CNN interview, Joan believed about trusting ABC makes the brilliant single man in heaven, saying, "Gracious, my golly. I need to be on it." She immediately got herself adding, "Ideally, I'll have a spouse and not be qualified." The way that Joan was at that point looking at showing up on another unscripted dating show, before recording The Brilliant Lone Rangeress shows, that she not entirely set in stone to track down adoration in the establishment. However, Joan most likely has good motivations. She might not have a lot of confidence simultaneously, and after Gerry and Teresa's separation, accusing her is hard. This may not be guaranteed to imply that Joan's season is ill-fated to fizzle, yet entirely it's surely not a confident sign. While anything can occur, she's as of now considering the possibility of disappointment on her side project, and thinking about existence after that. This potentially doesn't bode well. One of the primary topics of the debut episode of The Brilliant Lone Wolf Season 1 was fellowship. After Joan welcomed the 24 more established single men who were projected, so they could compete for her expressions of warmth, the cast partook in the season's most memorable mixed drink party. It was clear rapidly that, however much the men loved Joan, they preferred each other similarly to such an extent. Different men remarked on how dazzled they were by different men, and the night transformed into a genuine love fest. By contrast, the men of The Brilliant Lone Rangeress Season 1 appear to like and respect each other a lot to at any point take part in struggle, which might make for a considerably less thrilling season. A few close-to-home firecrackers are expected to add zest. This season could be an extremely tasteless dish, an expansion to being perpetually engaging. The Brilliant Single Man Season 1 left a mark on the world. The show kicked things off as the principal unscripted dating show that based on the affection lives of children of post-war America, and it was thus a success with a quickly maturing TV crowd hungry for tales about themselves. For the majority more established individuals, the show addressed finding love further down the road, which is something that everybody needs to have confidence in, which is the reason Gerry and Teresa's separation has been so frustrating. The show was quickly darling. There was no doubt that there would be a female-drove form of the show. Regardless of how great The Brilliant Lone Wolf Season 1 is, it will always be unable to contact the sheer energy made by the novelty of The Brilliant Unhitched Male Season 1. While Gerry's ladies on the brilliant Single Man Season 1 appeared to be a gathering of serious singles searching for affection, a portion of Joan's men on the brilliant Lone Rangeress Season 1 have all the earmarks of being more keen on a party way of life. A few of the men communicated wonder at the rich house and its different accoutrements. Jack appeared to be most amped up for the chateau's great pool, and scenes from future episodes include Jack doing numerous cannonballs into the pool when he should charm Joan. To be reasonable to Jack, he prepared Joan an intricate dinner in the house's mind-blowing kitchen. This appeared to intrigue her, as she chose to give Jack a rose toward the finish of the primary episode. During the brilliant Lone Wolf Season 1, Joan put herself aside from different ladies during a gathering date with Gerry. The date incorporated an ability show component, and every lady was supposed to go up in front of an audience before a live crowd and hotshot an ability. The lady with the best exhibition would win an exceptionally desired one-on-one supper with Gerry. Joan needed time alone with Gerry, however she was apprehensive, feeling as though she didn't have a ta.